Hi everyone, Arlene Schiffer here. I've been asked by a couple of friends if I could show them how to learn a couple of different basic techniques to the wire wrapping. And so I thought most of my go-to patterns, I would show them, wire weave patterns, I would show them. So I'm going to do a quick video and show you two. My favorites are, this is on some flimsy blue wire, crisscross or crazy 8 design, which is really cool, but it's really hard to keep a uniform look to it. And so it's not really the perfect weave for beginners, but if you're up for the task, if you want to do a crisscross or crazy 8 infinity weave, use some type of separator. This is a earring backer right here. I use those because they don't slide, and it's a good width between the wires, and it keeps them separated and uniformed as I'm weaving along. I also want to show you the Tutu Weave, which is a really cool go-to weave. There's a couple of others I'm going to show you as well that I don't have little models for. The Tutu Weave is pretty much basically in the name, 2 wires, 2 weaves, each different step. These here, 1, 2, 3, these would be complete rotations. This would be 1 complete rotation, 1, 2, and 3. And that's how that works. Counting these are a little bit harder because they're closer together, but at any rate, if you're ready, I am too. So let's start with the Tutu Weave. I'm going to be using these are tools actually for me. They're a 14 gauge that I use for my cannabis leaf and other leaf designs. And but they're good tools, and they're great to show you how to do the different skills, weaving skills. I'm also going to use, it's not the best wire to use because it's a little big with as tight a weave as we're going to be doing, but it's 24 gauge. It's dead soft, and it's still a little hard. It's not as soft as aluminum, but it works. It works really well. So let's start with the Tutu Weave. One of the things that, as a general rule, to start off with, when you start to wrap your wire, your first wire, wrap your wrapping wire, base wire, anchor wire, not base wire, but anchor wire, weaving wire, whichever you want to call it. But you wrap it, give it 3 wraps around your frame wire. And later, if you want to take the 3 wraps off, you can. Always also leave yourself some type of a tail to hold on to. Maybe longer if you decide you want to add something to it or lengthen your wrap a little bit more. But let's start. I'm going to give myself inch plus. I'm going to go to the back of the wire, my frame wire, and give it 3 wraps. Let's get some wire involved here. 1, 2, 3. Squish them together. Now you can use your squishing tool, not squishing tool, pliers. You can use pliers if you want to. And squish. That's why I call it my squishing tool. It squishes stuff. From front to back. From the front. Add your wire on. Get the space that you want between them. You can put a stopper in there, you can put a bead in there if you want to, or you can just squish your fingers in there to hold them tight. And wrap 2 times. This is the first rotation, but it's half a rotation. Go around the bottom 2 times. 1, 2, push if you want to. Again, the 24 gauge gets a little work hard, and these are tight reps, so it's going to get, the wire is going to be a bummer. It's going to be a little difficult. But there's one rotation of a 2-2 wrap. After the 2 on your bottom wire, go back to the top. And as you can, I don't know if you can tell, but I kind of guide the wire around, and then I'll press it to the back. And then I have a nice flat back to it, and no bumps. Go around 2 times. Again, and this would be 3 rotations of a 2-2, or 2 rotations of a 2-2 weave. I'll go one more time, get you the clue. Around again, 1, 2. One of the tricks is to have patience and don't rush through it. Make sure you hold the wire and guide your wire, otherwise it's going to do its own thing. And that's 3 rotations of a 2-2 weave. And a lot of tutorials will tell you how many rotations, so now you know what they're talking about. Some will say 8 rotations for this side, and then you do 8 rotations on the other side using the same size wire, and what ends up happening is you have quite the perfect looking balanced piece, all symmetrical and doing it right. So that's your 2-2, and we'll call it a day on that one. Cut my wire. But to end it, when you end it, depending on what you're going to be doing further in the project that you're wrapping this for, end it in 3. Stay uniform with your beginning and end. If you start with 5, end this in 5. If you plan on unwrapping this, then don't go any further. Or if it's the end, you still need to, for the most part, lack of better words, tie it off. I have 4 there. That's too many, but that's okay. Just cut that off real quick. I didn't need to do it sloppy like that. And there you have it. That's your 2-2 weave. Let's do, I'm going to do this without. I'm going to cut off just a couple of feet of wire here. I'm going to do a crisscross real quick. I prefer not to do those off the spool. I prefer to cut the wire because it gets too bound up and I lose patience. Alright, again, start with 3. This one's a little messed up. It's okay. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze. Bring it to the side, out of my way. Add your wire. Now from here, you go to the back. From the back, and bring it forward, back between the 2 wires, as straight as possible. I give it a little swing, and then I bring it back to the front, around the bottom wire, back to the front, and then back through. Of course, guiding my wire the whole way. Whoopsie. Sure, be a bummer. I got it the whole way. You can continue this way and make a nice tight tight weave. It's over, under, guide. Make sure it's in there. It's in between. Don't let them overlap. And with this particular weave, once the wire starts to collapse or go all different places and you try to straighten it out, you're going to have bumps in your wire. It's going to get messy. So try to be as uniform as possible. That's why people will put a stopper or a bead in here, and that helps them keep their wires uniformed all the way throughout the weave. And that is an infinity crisscross crazy 8. And they're cool looking. Just try to spread it apart a little, let you see it. Pretty neat. Let me show you another one. Let me bring this. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rotations. And that's all it created compared to the 3 rotations with this. And that's the size that I got. So this is quite wire intensive, but okay. So with this one, I wrap in between each weave. I'm going to go to the back side, bring my wire over, bring it back down, nice and straight, and wrap again. And then up and over, wrap around. So each time you cross over, you're going to wrap that wire twice. And this separates the wires a little bit, so you have more, you can see more of the weave. Another way, I like to call triangles. You see that? Not much different than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rotations, but what it fills it up more in between the spaces. And this one, the next one, I like to call triangles. I'm not sure what the real names are. It's still a crisscross pattern, right? But I'm going to wrap 5 times. That would be 3, 4, and 5. And then I'm going to bring my wire all the way back over this way, holding it tight. I've got it tight there. Bring this in. It doesn't want to do it. 5 wraps. That is actually number 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring it over. This way. And then 5 wraps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bloop. Bring it back over. And you see how it's making kind of a triangle. Pretty neat, isn't it? And it's different crisscross designs that you can do. I turn to a lot, an awful lot. They're very neat looking. They're elegant looking. You can make them, if you make them a little wider and maybe stretch them apart. Sometimes you can make them look kind of lacy. So if you have a leather and lace theme going on, you'll rock it with this. Let's do one more I call a step ladder. I love this weave. I think it's the coolest thing. You can, like with the crisscross, something like, you know, the tutu, you can use front or back with the tutu. Crisscross, same thing, front or back. Some weaves you cannot use front or back, like one that does a, like the one I use for my canvas leaf. You can't use front and back with that because in the back it's got, it skips wires and it's just a little different looking than the rest of it. So no, you don't do that. But let's do a step ladder. This one's awesome. I do believe it does have a name somewhere down the road, but I learned this one way back long ago. So whatever you call it, beats the socks off me. That's all I got to say. Alright, let's do it. I'm gonna anchor with my 3 wraps. 1, 2, 3. Bring this puppy on in. Come on out of the way. And then we can either, you can start it any way you want to. And it's a tight wrap, so I'm going to start going over both wires once. Stop sliding. Bring the wire from the back in between both wires, all the way around the back, down to the bottom, over to the front, back in between the 2 wires, back around the bottom, over the top, and then grab both wires again. And you got a little space in between. It looks like a little step ladder building there. And that's what I've always called it. And that's how you do it. You go, when you bring your wire up over to the back to the top wire, over the back, bring it through the middle of the wires, back over the top wire to the back again, all the way down to the bottom. Bring it up forward to the wrap around the bottom wire. In between, go in between these wires again, back around the bottom wire, and then to the top, grabbing both wires. We did 3 rotations there. And it looks a little like a step ladder or something of this sort. And you just keep doing that. It's over the top to the bottom, back through them all. You know, you start to get into the rhythm, and if you don't count how many rotations you've got, you're just going to keep going. The next thing you know, you've made it halfway around the world, wrapping a stepladder. I'm kidding. But there you go, that's a stepladder. I think that's pretty cool. It's one of the neatest wraps I know. Again, it's probably got a name. And see, front and back. You can't tell. So, there's a few cool wraps for you that I hope will get you going, get you started, and they actually, each and every one of them will take you a long, long way. Most of the designs that you're going to do will use these particular skills. So watch as many different tutorials on them as you can. If there's ebooks on them, download them, put them on your desktop or something so that you have a quick reference to go to. I'm not the only one here, so go through YouTube and check out the other artists. In the meantime, if you'd like to subscribe, hit the bottom button, the subscribe button, and ring that little bell. What does that do for you anyways? It pushes notifications or something, I'm believing. But I'd love to have you aboard. I guess you can comment if you want to, if I have it open. And give me a couple days and I have another tutorial that I want to upload. A couple of them, one covering a sun catcher, one covering a particular pendant that I've been doing. So have a great day. My name's Arlene Schiffer, co-owner, MJ's Blues and Dance Club, which is a virtual blues club. We host live concerts, mainly for benefits for charities like Cancer Society, and right now we have different crises going on. We won't go into discussion. So stick with us. I'll talk to you another time. Bye-bye.